know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it took people like Hardy Boy and, Brother Drag and some of my Riff Raff brothers and Full Blast Tribe brothers to tell me a few things behind the scenes for me to be like, oh, okay, he my little cousin Giz. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's in here right now. It's certain things he do that I ain't seen yet. He'll give me info. Instead of me acting like I know just because I'm older, why don't I just listen? If I don't agree with it, I'm like, all right, I hear you. If I do agree, I'm like, all right, I hear you. And boom, bow. You know what I'm saying? Which I want to get to this segment of this right here. I want to ask you on the support level. You also had a part on one of your shows where you talked about the support systems. You know what I'm saying? And also, I've also had previous talk with other podcasters about the support systems and how do you feel about having a strong support system, building, or just matter of fact, in your way, how would you explain the support system? Watching them changing, knowing who to, or where were you coming from in that perspective?
Man, when I talk about support system, man, it always kind of gets me emotional because I've had so many people throughout this journey really invest into me, not monetarily, but just they just really put things into my spirit that have been carrying me on through. Mm-hmm. And I understood early in this, man, especially in podcasting, if you want to have a friend, you need to be a friend. Yeah. So it goes the same way with support. If you want to have support, you need to be able to support people. So that's exactly what I did. I went about my way of just starting out. When I first started the Unbiased Truth podcast, it was with one of my great friends, Alan. He and I started podcasting together, and we were strictly just talking about music. But I found out through supporting him that this became a form of therapy for us. Like us getting in front of the microphone, being unbiased for however long we're speaking, that became therapeutic. So what did I try to do my best to do? I tried about being that support system that he needed. Never told him no when he wanted to record. Always looking for more content to talk about. Was always trying to find new ways to push that envelope when it came to being unbiased. And what I found out was that, man, it ain't many of us out here trying to do the righteous thing. Mm-hmm. But less is more. There's plenty of us out here doing the righteous thing. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. As long as we link up and I'm trying to be just as great for you as you are to me, we can do no wrong. And that doesn't mean that we're doing the same thing for each other. Listen, I might need support when it comes to editing my shows. You might need support when it comes to promoting those shows. Mm-hmm. We need to do what we need to do for one another. We need to speak each other's love languages. A lot of people talk about that all the time. Oh man, I know my love languages. I know my love language. Cool. I'm glad you know how to speak your love language, but do you know how to fluently speak your partner's love language? The people that you're involved with, do you know how to love them properly? Mm-hmm. Do you show up for them in a way where they feel like they've been supported? Mm-hmm. That's the main goal when it comes to being a support system and having one. You have to, like somebody said, bridge the gap. Mm-hmm. Find a way to fill in those holes where they're not able to, and then go about it righteously. Not doing it because you want something from them. Mm-hmm. The only thing you should want from your support system is more righteous ways of doing things. The only thing you should want from them is their growth, their overall success. If you get something off of that, they break you off a little bit of something, awesome, cool. But when it comes to being a strong support system, you have to understand that, man, all of this needs to be about righteousness. And I always have this mantra that I say whenever I go about doing a show or I go about supporting somebody. I talk to the Creator. I talk to the Spirit. Allah, God, Krishna, whoever you support. And I say, all of you, Lord, none of me. All of you, Lord, none of me. That way we remove my personal biases and we give people exactly what they need from me. Use me as a tool in order to empower your creation. When you go at it from that angle, you should remove all of the things that you want to attain from them, and you're simply just being what you need to be for that person. Mm-hmm. That is the most unselfish way of loving on somebody, and that's how you gain more in this lifetime.
Good, great. Thank you for that right there. That couldn't have said it better. Like that was strong right there, man. Because when it comes like, as far as my part, that's why I asked you, because I knew that you would have a good, strong answer that'll stick with me. Because when it comes to the support system thing, my past Like before I started podcasting, you know, there's always that it's a statement, and it's always an ugly truth statement for me. You know what I'm saying? But what's you can lose something good to get something better. You know what I'm saying? Like losing something good, or if something falls and destroys, it just means that something else beautiful finna be created. It can be said in so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? And I'm bad about holding on. You know what I mean? Which is something that I gotta, something I've been learning to stop doing, because holding on and it ain't going nowhere, and everybody know going around and around in a circle, you know what I'm saying, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You damn near insane. Or you are insane if you've been doing it long enough, you know what I mean? So when that support system fails, if it ever failed you, have you ever been through a position where a certain support system failed you and you had to prosper through? Has that ever been through your years of doing this, time doing this, or whatever else in life? Has there ever been a time where that certain support system failed you and it made you stronger?
Yeah, brother. I'll be honest with you, man. I'm going through that right now as we speak. The podcast, like I told you, I started out with my friend Alan. Okay. He and I were doing the podcast strong, man. We did it for 2 years strong, man. We were going hard. And then 2020 came. I went out to Japan, came back, and I was going through a whole new way of living my life. I was just thinking about different things, trying to figure out how I wanted to go about speaking. Honestly, at the time when I got back from Japan, I didn't want to speak no more. I just wanted to be quiet and listen twice as much as I spoke. That's what I did. Stopped podcasting for almost 10 months because I felt like if I would have came right back to the microphone once I got back from Japan, I would have been too caught up in my personal biases to be unbiased. And that's not why I started the podcast. I started the podcast not as a personal diary, not as a therapy session, but as a way to be unbiased in front of the real ones so we can have conversations that need to be had. Well, Alan and I decided to start podcasting after that little hiatus that we went on. And after 2 episodes, Alan was like, man, I don't feel it no more, man. I don't want to do this anymore. The same person I started out podcasting with, the person that I realized, man, this is therapy for us, man. We are really good at this. He now was like, man, I got to move on, bro. I don't want to do this no more, man. And originally, when I started podcasting, I didn't want to do it alone. I never went into podcasting thinking I'd be a solo podcaster. I felt like I wasn't that vain of a person. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and talk to people by myself for 2-3 hours. Nah. I want to talk to my homies. I want to talk to my people. Let's share ideas. Let's collaborate. You know what I'm saying? I see you beating your chest. You see what I'm saying,
bro? My cousin Giz in here. He knows.
No, you good.
The story that you just told. Hey, Giz, he hit me right here with that one. I'm different. I know I can relate with you. Come on. What's going on, Miss Lens? We got the UK in the house. What's up, Miss Lens? How you doing, Miss Lens? Go keep going, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yo, shout out to all of y'all around the world. I'm sure that we'll get to y'all in the comments, and keep on dropping your comments. I'm gonna go back and watch this. I know y'all might go back and watch this. DM me if there's anything I didn't answer. Please. Don't berate me. Debate me. I promise y'all. I'm gonna come at it unbiasedly. We ain't gotta tear each other down. We